This is the Average to Savage podcast with Paul Guarino. Everyone and anyone, athletes, celebs, and much more.
Today's episode is powered by CBD for Life. Whichever CBD products you need and want, CBD for Life has them, from rubs to oils. I personally use the products from CBD for Life and I love them. Check them out at cbdforlife.us. Use the promo code SAVAGE20 for 20% off your purchase. Again, that's cbdforlife.us. What's up, everybody? I'm back for another episode of the Average Savage podcast. Our special guest today is two-time world champion Cornelius K9 Bundrage. K9, how's it going?
What's up, my guy? You all right? I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Appreciate you coming on.
All day.
So let's go back in time. How did you first get involved in boxing?
I've been a fighter all my life, so, coming from the hood, fighting was easy. When I got the opportunity to actually, become a boxer or start boxing, I jumped to it. A young man had heard that, I was pretty good with them hands. So he pulled up on me and he said, I heard you was good with them hands, man. I heard you can fight a little bit. He said, man, who you think you can fight? Who you think you can beat? You know what I mean, right now? I said, man, I'll knock Mike Tyson out. I could beat Mike Tyson, right? So he was like, man, he said, okay, all right, well, I'm going to come pick you up and take you to the gym, see what you about. So he took me to the gym, man, and, I was taking care of business, putting boys away. But I realized that, man, boxing was a lot harder than I thought. Mm-hmm. But I hung in there, and started boxing, had 10 amateur fights, and turned pro.
And what year did the guy find you?
He actually pulled up on me in 1991.
Okay.
Yeah, back in 1991. Now, before that, to be honest with you, when I was 11 years old, because I stayed down the street from the famous Crunk Gym. Mm-hmm. So the Crunk Gym is actually in my neighborhood. I went down there and went and hit the punching bag, but I wanted to spar. And the coach at the time, he may rest in peace, his name is Mr. Logan, he wouldn't put me in the ring. So as a kid coming from that neighborhood, McGraw was real rough. I wanted to get in there and fight. I wanted to spar somebody. I wanted to box. Mm-hmm. And he didn't have to put me in there. So I left the gym and, left the boxing part and went back upstairs and played basketball. And then went downstairs again until, that young man came and pulled up on me.
Gotcha. Actually, that's my next question. Did you play any other sports growing up?
Oh, yeah. I was, I'm pretty athletic. I could play basketball. I did real good, as far as basketball. I played on a few teams. When I was in high school, I remember the coach telling me, don't get kicked out because he saw I had skills on the basketball court, and I got kicked out the next day. So it was meant for me to be a fighter, man. So all I did was fight.
Yeah, so, for sure.
I was pretty good at it.
And like you mentioned before, you made your pro debut in 1995. So what was that first pro fight like?
Man, you know what? It was very exciting. It was, too exciting because the guy who I fought was actually a fighter that avoided me in the amateurs. So he turned pro thinking that, if I go pro, I bet have more experience and then I could call K9 out because now I had the ups on him. And he remembered me as a Mike Tyson type of style that I had when I was fighting the amateurs. But I started watching Ray Jones, so I kind of switched it up on him. So he didn't even know that, I had changed my style. So he called me out, and I accepted the challenge. And my manager at the time was like, man, you sure you want to fight this guy? And they was like, man, because, he was managed by Jackie Callan. She had managed James Toney. Mm-hmm. So they was like, man, you sure you want to fight this guy? I'm like, man, yes, I want to fight him bad because he ducked me anyway in the amateurs. But at the same time, I know he thought I was still fighting like Mike Tyson, so I knew it was going to be an easy fight. So when I went in there and fought him, and I had a whole different style, he had no idea what to do. Beat him the whole fight. I beat him so bad that he stopped boxing after that.
Damn, yeah. And he had 3 fights under his belt, too.
Absolutely. He was 2-1. Yep, he was 2-1. The only fight he lost because he fought against a guy that had way more fights than him. So he was like, oh, yeah, bring on K9. He really wanted me. What I'm saying? He wanted me bad. Because, and we was amateurs, he couldn't see me at all. He knew. He was like a miniature mini Mike Tyson, but I was like Tyson for real. Yeah, I was knocking guys out in the amateurs like in 10 seconds. I mean, I was real furious. I mean, the way that I look, the way my body is structured, that's how I fought. You know, when I turned pro, I realized I couldn't fight like that. It'd have been too easy for a lot of fighters if I'd have fought like Tyson, because I was already short, and then going into punches, you know, that wouldn't have been a good look. So I started boxing. I said, let me change up and give them something they don't expect.
Yeah, you started out 21-0. You went on a tear. You had a crazy amount of knockouts, and then
Absolutely.
And then you had the Powell fight. You suffered your first loss, and then so what was that like, and how did that like motivate you even more?
Oh man, let me tell you something. That was a blessing in disguise, to be honest with you, because I had never lost a real fight before in my life, even as an amateur. Mm-hmm. You know, the fights that they gave to the other guy, I really didn't lose them fights. It was just, you know, they give it to whoever they want to give it to. You know, sport of boxing is dirty. So going into that fight, 21-0, you know what I'm saying? I think I had 13 knockouts under my belt. I'm knocking guys out left and right. So, man, I was just like, man, I'm going to destroy this guy. I'm going to crush him. So, you know, me going into that fight, I wasn't humble when it came to boxing. I mean, as far as like, you know, I was a little arrogant because I knew in my mind could nobody beat me. You know, when I first, like when we first did the interview, I told you when he pulled up on me, when Billy pulled up on me, I said, man, I could beat Mike Tyson. So when I went into that fight, you know what I'm saying, and I got stopped in the first round, oh, man, I was embarrassed. I mean, and one reason why I did, a lot of people don't know, but the reason why I ran out there and tried to knock him out in the first round is because I was promised $10,000 for a first round knockout. So my promoter said, hey, K9, I got $10,000 for you. You know what I'm saying? I was getting $10,000 for the fight, and on top of that, I would get a $10,000 bonus for a first round knockout. I was like, oh man, I'm about to get that extra 10, and cost me the fight. I lost my first one.
And then after that, you went on the Contender series. But take me back, like what was the casting process like, or who reached out to you for the Contender series?
Okay, yeah. Now let me tell you too before we get into that, that I did get him back though. I did get him back. Oh, sweet was it? Yes, it was. Got him back in a unanimous decision, and I was the champion of the world at the time too. So.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I just had to say that. That's all. Yeah. Just in case you forgot. Remember Roy Jones said, y'all must have forgot. Right. So being on the Contender, it was actually real fun, man. You know, now that I look at it, it was fun. Like when they came to Detroit, they came to Detroit looking for you know, people to be on the show. Actually, in season 1, and you know, I was like, man, I'm undefeated. I was like, I want to be on a reality show because they ain't gonna take boxing or my career serious. They just trying to make this into like a movie, you know? Because you know the host, the host of the show, or the executive producer is Sylvester Stallone. So I was like, oh man, I ain't about to do this right here, because they actually picked me for season 1. I actually turned it down, so I would have been on season 1. But when I suffered my first loss with that fight that I had against Powell, man, I reached back out to them on the second season, and I didn't realize it was going to be that good. So when I saw season 1, I was like, wow, I blew a big opportunity. This was better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Could have really helped my career big time. But once I lost my first fight, I had no choice but to go and try to be on the show, because even my promoter at the time, you know, he started acting different when I lost my first fight. I mean, people change on you, man. When you at the top, boy, you got so many friends, but when, you know, you go to the bottom, oh, man, nobody will help you. They'll let you drown.
For sure. And what was your overall experience like on the Contender? I know you were the fan favorite.
Yes. You know, I was a fan favorite. I went out there and I said, you know what, I'm going to put it all in God's hands, because, you know, I didn't know what to expect. You know, I had lost my first fight. It was my first time ever losing my first fight, so I didn't know what to expect. I was like, man, I'm just going to put it in God's hands, man, and I'm just going to go out there and give it my best. I'm going to make sure I keep God first. That's how come I always talked about God on the show. I wanted to sell myself. I wanted people to remember me no matter what. So I wore my shirts. I couldn't understand why the other fighters, they wasn't promoting themselves. I mean, they told us that, okay, since it's a reality show, and at the time, reality shows was the biggest thing around. So, you know, I was like, man, this is a chance for me to be able to, you know, sell myself. These guys, you know, they wasn't wearing nothing that had their name on it. I mean, we couldn't wear Nike or Adidas, so they stripped us from all that. We couldn't wear none of that to promote nobody else, so they didn't want to get sued. But I was like, man, I'm going to wear my K9 shirts. So I wore my K9 shirts, and since my boxing name was K9, when the camera was on me, I was barking, and I was winning. I was like, man, you know, I sold myself. So it was a trip to go over to the United Kingdom and come through the tunnel and they start barking, K9. I couldn't believe it, man. I felt like I was Michael Jackson or somebody.
You were ahead of your time with the marketing.
Yes, I was way ahead of time. Yes. So, yeah, I got a book I'm about to drop eventually, man. I'm gonna drop this book, Don't Bark If You Can't Bite, K9. So yeah, I was definitely ahead of my time, man, and I just thank God because he gave me another opportunity. And like I said, after that power loss, man, I didn't know where I was gonna go. People treated me different, and then I went back and got on the Contender, man, and revived my career. I became a fan favorite. I beat Bravo so bad that when I saw Floyd Mayweather, he told me, he said, K9, he said, man, I seen the power. He said, what you did to Bravo, Berto had your leftovers, because Berto had fought him after I fought him, and Berto beat him too. But Floyd was telling me, like, man, you destroyed Bravo, man. Berto had your leftovers. He ain't do nothing. He was just, giving me dap, and I felt the respect, and it was all love.
Yeah. What was it like? Just like cameras following you around all the time. Was it weird at first?
Yes, it was. It was annoying at first. I mean, I can't even go to the bathroom without a camera, coming towards me. I'm like, man, I'm looking at him like, man, bro, can I use the bathroom? But then eventually, I got used to it. I was like, you know what? They just doing their job, you know what I mean? And so, I just, it was just like, being in the house and with the walls, you know what I mean? The walls, they going to be what they going to be. They going to be on the wall, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You walk past it, it's just, it's just natural. So the cameras got natural to me. I just, it just became just a part of, just being in the house. It wasn't nothing no more after that. But in the beginning, oh yeah, I was like, man, I was just trying to watch. I was being careful what I say and everything. But eventually, I just did, decided just started to be myself. I just became myself and just flowed. That's all.
Yeah. All right, I got two fan questions from the Contender series. You ready?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, one of them is, are you still friends with Andre Eason?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still friends with Andre Eason. I reached out to him when I was in New York, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month ago. I reached out to him. I was trying to, see could he come link up with me. I still text him and I still call him. We still talk. Not just me and Andre Eason, but me and Vin Roy and Grady and Fred. I still be in contact with Steve Forbes, a few of them.
Yeah. And the other question is, do you think you beat Steve Forbes?
Man, listen, you go look at my record. So my record is 36-6.
Yeah.
But I only truly lost 3 fights, and not no 6 fights. I feel like I beat Steve Forbes. I feel like I beat Ishai Smith, and I feel like I beat Grady Brewer. So I mean, it is what it is. Once you get one loss in that record, it's easy for them to give you another one, and then they give you another one. They say, take that, like the Biggie song. So. Yeah. I definitely feel like I beat him, but I don't want to sound bitter and like, I'm not bitter or none of that, It is what it is, if they gave it to me, he probably felt that he lost, so, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Same with the other fighters, same with the Ishai Smith and all of them. I still reached out to Ishai and we still talk and kick it, you know what I mean? So, it is what it is, it's a sport of boxing. You win some, you lose some, but I do feel like I won those fights.
For sure. All right, now fast forward into 2010, you had your big title shot versus Corey Spinks.
Yes.
So, what was that like? What was that like? Just getting the opportunity to finally fight for the world title.
Well, it was a lot of people now. A lot of people they think that I got in that position because of the Contender. No, the Contender really just gave me a lot of experience. It gave me a chance to share my story and it reached millions of people, and it helped the sport of boxing. But I actually fought my way to the Corey Spinks fight. I had fought against a guy and on 3 weeks notice. The 3 week notice I fought on the Klitschko undercard in Germany. So they flew me in to fight against this guy named Zerbiak Basagor. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but it's Zerbiak Basagor, but he's a Russian. Yeah. 19-0 with 15 knockouts. So I went over there, man, and knocked him out. And I became number 2 mandatory for the Corey Spinks fight. So that's how I actually got the fight against Corey Spinks. And I'm going into that fight against Corey Spinks. Man, Corey Spinks, I think he was, out of shape because the fight got canceled at least 3 times. So I was getting ready for Corey Spinks like 3 times, man. If I get canceled, I would go train hard. If I didn't get canceled, I'd train harder. If I didn't get canceled, I'd train even harder than that. And I started realizing, like, man, only you can't train no harder than the hardest you can train. So what tripped me out is that fighters be talking about some, man, I'm in the best shape of my life. Okay, then they be like, man, for the next fight, I'm in the best shape of my life. And the next fight for that, I'm in the best shape of my life. You only can be in the best shape of your life, and that's it. You don't get no better than the best shape of your life. So I realized that as far as I could go, it was the sky. After you reach the sky, you can't go no further than that. So I started working on my skills instead of steady trying to get in better and better shape, because I felt like when I fought Corey Spinks, I actually overtrained. Mm-hmm. If you go watch the fight, you will see I went out there and just started throwing bombs to try to knock him out in round 1. Because my legs was gone, I just felt different. You know, I really knew I overtrained. So I said, let me just go ahead and try to go get him.
Yeah. Was that the card? I mean, was that the fight where he came out with like Nelly and stuff?
Yeah, abs. You know what? I don't know if it was Nelly, but I know he came out. I know he came out there dancing. He came out there dancing. I don't know if it was Nelly or not, but I do remember him coming out there dancing. I know he came out with Nelly one time before. Yeah. I think that was a Zab Judah fight. He might have came out with Nelly. I can't remember. I just turned my head.
Was that more motivation when is that more motivation when like a guy comes out like crazy like that?
Absolutely. I feel like you disrespecting the sport. Yeah. When I see fighters come out there dancing like they already won a fight and they lose or they get dropped or knocked out, I be laughing like I don't know what, because you don't be disrespecting your opponent. You ain't won yet. You celebrate and do whatever you want to do after the fight. Yeah. But before the fight, you can't guarantee and say you won the fight. When you dance, that's basically I guaranteed I won. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy. Yeah. I'm the champ. I done did it. Nah, bro. it ain't over till the fat lady sing. For
sure. So what was that feeling like winning the world title? You got the TKO, the 5th round.
Man, I remember hitting Corey Spinks, and he wouldn't go nowhere. And I was talking to God in my head. I was like, God, I know I'm supposed to be here. Like, when is it gonna happen? And I just heard in my mind, I heard keep working. And I finally knocked him out. I said, man, let me give God the glory, man. I dropped to my knees and said, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I was happy as I don't know what. I was happy, man. I was real happy. Very happy.
And then did that change your life?
Yeah. You know what? It actually changed my life. It changed my life because one thing about it, when you become world champion, even if you lose a title, they can never take that away from you. No. Once a champion, always a champion. So it changed my life forever. I was a world champion. I became the champ of the world. I mean, but I wasn't the same K9 I used to be. So I didn't get a chance to really just like feel myself. The old K9 would have been in the hood, would have been going crazy, would have just been doing all kind of stuff. I had settled down, man. I had got married, after the Contender, I got married to my wife, so I slowed tremendously down. So I was really a humble guy. So I really could never, realize that I was a champ of the world until I lost my title. Mm-hmm. That's when I realized, wow, I was the champ of the world. I was actually the champ. I used to always say, man, I'm the champ, but I couldn't really feel it. I couldn't really see it because I just was too humble.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, so I know you want to go back on this one. So you got the rematch versus Powell, and you got your revenge. So what was that like?
Absolutely. Yeah, man. It was a trip because, like I said, in that fight, I was promised $10,000, for a first round knockout. Yeah. I mean, so I ran out there trying to get him simultaneously because I was trying to get that $10,000, that extra bonus. Now that I think about the whole fight, I think with the skills he had, maybe he still could have probably pulled off a decision, but he wouldn't have stopped me in the first round. But, from there on out, one thing about me, man, I learned from my mistakes quick, especially in boxing. So from there on out, man, I became a southpaw killer. I started sparring on Andy Lee a whole lot. I just started practicing on how to defeat a southpaw. So finally, when he got in position, we fought. I know the Bible says, revenge is God. So when I became world champion, I wasn't thinking I want to fight Sakupal because he beat me. No, if he ever got in that position, I said to myself, if he ever get in a position to fight me, if we ever fight, I'm going to destroy him. And finally, he won. I think he fought against Corey Spinks and beat Corey Spinks, or he fought somebody. Anyway, he became the number 1 contender and mandatory for my title. And I was happy as I don't know what. I was training hard as I don't know what. I was ready. He actually was so pumped up that he got out there, 2 days before the fight, because you already got to fly in to the venue or to the place to fight where you gonna fight at until the last few days or whatever. Mm-hmm. But anyway, he got there before I did. I had a choice to come out there, early in the week, or to continue to train and come there a few days before the fight. So he got there early, and he was all on his social media. Man, I hope K9 ain't scared. He ain't here. I hope he here. I hope he show up. I don't know where he at. I'm looking at these comments like, man, this guy crazy. So I finally get there, because I'm getting all the training I can before I get there. Because once you go out of town, you doing all kind of media. You ain't doing as much training, so I'm trying to get all my training in before I'm actually there, and I can't really train like that. So when I finally get there and we get on the scale, I was like, boy, I'm saying, I told him, Andy Lee told you what time it was, because Andy told him, like, man, K9 ain't the same K9 you fought, bro. He different. He's like, oh, no, he was saying, when I said, man, you going to see, boy, you going to get that work. You thought I was scared to fight you, bro? I'm the champ of the world, bro. I just was giving it to him like, man, you going to get wrecked. I'm going to put you on ice. Yeah. He, no, you ain't. Oh. So, man, I beat him so bad, man. He was kicking a bucket in the ring. And, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. I beat him round by round by round. It was unanimous decision. Yeah, I got him good. Super good. He was mad, but, it was respect at the end of the day. I respect him to this day. We won and won, but I beat him when it really counted, Yeah. And that's me being the champ of the world. So he know what it is.
Yeah, definitely. And I was going to save for this question for later, but was that your favorite fight, you'd say?
Man, you know what? Man, that revenge was up there. It's really hard to say which one was my favorite fight, because it's just so many of them. I mean, you got to think about it. I was on the biggest boxing reality show of all time. I would say probably the second biggest reality show of all time. I ain't talking about reality shows of today. I'm talking about when reality shows that just came out. Yeah. I'm talking about behind American Idol. So being on a Contender, fighting on fights on the Contender, all of them was super big. When I won my first fight after that loss I had with Powell on the Contender, that was big. When I beat Michael Clark, people were so excited and happy for me. I was the MySpace king. Yeah. So that right there was huge. When I fought at the Staples Center in front of 14,000, sold out, just like KSI and Logan, they just sold out. Millions of people saw the fight. Same situation. I sold out the Staples Center. And I destroyed Bravo. My sister had got killed, man, so I did it for her. That was a huge fight for me, a huge win for me, beating Bravo and becoming a fan favorite and just launching off and, continue to having a career, because a lot of lost that fight, man, and you never know what the Contender would have did. We got a lot of friends when you're at the top, like I say, and then if you lose or you at the bottom, it's over with. So that was a big fight. When I fought over in Germany and I beat the guy for the number 2 spot and had the rights to fight, Corey Spinks for a world title, that was huge. So, I mean, I had some huge wins, some very, very huge wins.
For sure.
And then going to Carlos Molina's town and becoming the oldest, not his town, but his country, and being the oldest junior middleweight world champion of all time today. To this day, as the bottom squad would say, that is huge. So I mean, I got a few up, man. But I definitely would say that the fight with Powell is definitely up there. It's in the top. Yeah. It's in the top 7? Top 7, I would say.
Definitely. And then actually, what was that like fighting in Mexico? I think that was your first and only time.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, man, I was ready for that fight, boy. People, I mean, if anybody betted on me, they made a gang of money, because I know I was underdog, and people thought because I was in my 40s that, it was over with for me. But they don't know, man, when my back is up against the wall, man, I'm going to come out swinging for real. I was in real good shape for that fight. I'm talking about tremendous shape, Shout out to Jay and Third, for helping me get ready for that fight. But man, I was not going to come back home without that title. And if you notice, all you got to do is see when I fought overseas, every time I won, and I won in spectacular fashion. I mean, I went out there, man, and took Carlos Molina what Laura couldn't do, what no other fighter could do. You know what I mean? And they actually cheated, man. They tried to drown me over there, man, because when you fight in the arenas. Normally, the arena, they might be a little warm here and there, but normally they might have a little AC on, or it's just cool. It's kind of regular for for the people that's there, you know, because it's all about the fans. Man, you know that over in the arena, they had that mug blazing hot. Now, I know it's hot. I know it's hot in Cancun, Mexico anyway, but they had it inside the building was hot. I'm talking about, it felt like it was like 90 degrees in there, man. I couldn't believe it. Man, the referee, if you go look at his shirt, go YouTube that fight, Carlos Molina versus K9 Bundrage. Man, the referee's shirt was soaked. I mean, they tried to cheat. They felt like, okay, because Carlos Molina had a style where he would go forward, and I was in my 40s, and, you know, they felt like it would, you know, he would have too much for me, and he'd be able to wear me out, but they didn't know that God knew what they was trying to do. So at home, I was training in the heat. You know, I don't know why I didn't say nothing to Jay about, you know, turning the heat down. He turned the heat up, and I never did complain. And now I know it was all in God's plan. So I trained in the gym with the heat up to like 120.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so wow, they tried to ban. So it was meant for me to win that fight, man. It was meant, because if I would have been training in the heat at the house, you know, in Detroit, world's best. Oh man, I would have lost that fight just because it had been too hot. I'd have go wow. He'd have been putting pressure on me, and the heat. Oh man, but I was ready. I went 12 rounds. That was the hardest fight for us, like condition wise, as far as how to push myself, and any fight I ever had.
Yeah. Now, what was the difference winning your first world title and your second world title?
Well, my second world title, my back was up against the wall. I mean, you know, you don't win this fight, it's over, you know. Mm-hmm. My first world title, that was, you know, I mean, it was a blessing in disguise. I had earned that, you know what I mean? And, you know, it was a blessing. Both of them was a blessing. I think that, the second one I started getting money. The first one I signed with Don King, and you know, I became a world champion. I brought the belt back to the city of Detroit. It was a drought, and we hadn't had a world champion in 30 years. Mm-hmm. So it was super big that we had an actual world champion in the city of Detroit. You know, after 30 years, you know what I mean? Since I was the great Tommy Hearns, it was big. So it was big. Both of them was big. I mean, I wouldn't trade either one of them, but the second one, you know, like I said, I got paid more. I'm still in the history books right now as being the oldest junior middleweight world champion of all time. I mean, even when they showed the fight on, they showed some highlights on ESPN talking about the fighters who are world champions at 40 plus. They actually showed Manny Pacquiao, George Foreman, Bernard Hopkins, and they even showed your boy K9. So both of them was big, man. I don't know which one was bigger. Yeah. I mean, I could easily say the second one was bigger because that was the last one I got. You know what I mean? I made more money. But, you know, without the first one, you know what I mean, I wouldn't have had the same experience to being a world champion, know what it, you know, takes to become one. So, you know, they both are super big, man.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you haven't fought since 2017, so are you still trying to fight, or are you retired?
Yes, to be honest with you, I am still trying to fight. I mean, I'm gonna see what happens in 2020, and if I can't get nothing, then I'm just gonna call it a day. But I've been trying to fight, man. You even sponsored me, man, with that nice outfit. I want to wear that so bad, but it's just like I was about to fight against this guy. Well, on this card with a guy named Ryan over in New Orleans, I was gonna be the main event. And then, like a week or 2 weeks before the fight, they called me and told me that, you know, my fight card was canceled, and they didn't know that, you know, if I was going to be able to fight, you know what I mean? Because they was making up all these excuses. Oh, well, he's a little too old, and but at first, you know, when you went to the commission, they was saying, oh yeah, K9 from Contender. Oh yeah. I think it was a money grab. I think that my name got used with sponsorship, and once he put the money in his pocket, you know. He came with an excuse that I was too old, or they, you know. So it was some bull junk in the game, man. But I'm definitely still trying to fight. I'm in the shape. I'm in the gym. Still training fighters. Training my son. I'm training a guy named Dean. You know, I'm training a few young ladies, and I'm still training myself. So I still got a few more in me. And at 46 years old. Oh, man, you'd be surprised. Boy, I don't move nothing like no 46-year-old at all. I'm cut up like what up? Trust me.
Yeah, no, I know you're always in shape.
Yeah. So if something can come my way, man, and it's right, man, I'll take it. I mean, but obviously, I don't want no fight against nobody 50-0 with 50 knockouts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, but the money's right. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and I'm gonna still give it my best. I never fight just for the money. You know what I mean? I'm gonna always try to win. But
So do you really just want like one more fight?
Huh?
Do you really just want like one more fight?
No. really want more than one more fight. I really want to get to the 40 wins. I want to get to 40 wins. You know, I'm 36-6.
Gotcha.
I want at least 4 more fights so I could be 40-6. So my record or something like that. And when you say, if I have 40 fights, it'll say, yeah, K9 record is 40-6-1. See what I'm saying? 40-6-1. Don't sound like I got 40 wins, 6 losses, and one no contest. Yeah. If you say K9's record, he has a record of 46-1. See what I'm saying? I sound like I'm 46-1 versus 46-1. You feel me? Yeah. So I definitely want to fight again, man. I really do. I mean, seriously, man. So I still I know these guys. These guys ain't about nothing out here, man. You know. I mean, I take my hat off to a lot of these fighters that are champions and people putting, you know, their lives on the line, you know, in the sport of boxing. But a lot of these guys are really playing boxing, man. They trying to see who they can fight. They picking their fights. It ain't like it was like when I was coming up. Like fighters ain't, you know, only the ones at the top are real hungry. But a lot of fighters, like in my city, man, they when the cameras come on, they in the gym. You know, on days like this, where in Detroit right now, it's snow on the ground. Ain't nobody in the gym like that. The only time they gonna be in the gym is they got a fight coming up. You don't supposed to train when you got a fight coming up. If you try to be a champion, you gotta train all the time. And that's one thing that I always did. I trained all the time. When I was 11 years old, I used to do 1,000 push-ups a day. From 11 years old to 14, and I didn't know I was going to become a boxer, none of that, but I just wanted to have muscles. I wanted to be Diesel. So being, you know, working hard was always in my blood.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the whole social media thing, I mean, I think it changed people in general, but like the boxing world too, just like, you know, the hype and stuff like that. Just with, you know, like you were saying, like picking guys out and stuff like that.
Exactly, man. You know, I mean, come on, man. Just think about it. I take my hat off to the YouTubers, but KSI and Logan, they was the main event, man.
Yeah.
The main event, and that was their first pro fight. But it's good for, you know what? If it's good for boxing, I ain't got no problem with it, because think about it. A reality show that I was on, it was good for boxing. People was like, man, they don't real boxing. It's a reality show. But guess what? It brought millions of fans to the sport of boxing. Same thing with them YouTubers. That brought millions of fans to the sport of boxing. The people that's fighting and that's complaining, man, I ain't gonna watch that, but they fighters, but they get paid. Guess what? You making money just off them guys coming to the sport of boxing. Somebody gonna become a fan of yours, want to pay to see you fight because of KSI and Logan. So, you know, when you think about the long term and the big picture, think about this. Conor McGregor, when he fought, he got a lot of UFC fighters that decided to want to be boxers. So it brought more money to the sport of boxing. When he fought Floyd Mayweather, you can't be mad at that man. He put his life on the line. If you had a chance to make $100 million, you wouldn't want nobody to hate on you. So I hate on the next man.
Yeah, definitely.
Now is it? Now you know, hey. Would you say that Conor McGregor is a great fighter or KSI a great fighter? No. Would you say that? You know, they'll be able to compete at the top level? No. But what I'm saying though is, like, you know, if a person want to fight, let them fight. If you want to fight, we're gonna let you fight. Whoever want to fight, let them fight. Can't tell a person what they can and can't do.
Yeah, definitely. What did you think? You watched the KSI Logan Paul fight?
Yeah, I did. I watched some of it. Because, you know, I was back and forth watching the ESPN fight, because, you know, my homeboy had fought, Rydell Booker had fought against the guy, I think his name was Cover Up or Pull Up.
Gotcha.
He fought against him. Yeah, so I was going back and forth.
So what'd you think about the whole like experience of like them? I think they sold out the Staples Center. Absolutely.
Hey, listen, that was big for boxing, because, like I say, man, you know, boxing has lost a lot of fans because of basketball. You know, people want to be a little kid nowadays. You see on a basketball court, they want to go to the NBA. Mm-hmm. There used to be a time that boxing was the biggest sport in the world, and excuse me, that changed. You know, when our granddaddies died, you know what I mean, and they supported boxing. It was all about boxing. Everybody wanted to be a boxer. But nowadays, people want to be a UFC fighter, or they want to be a basketball player, and even maybe a baseball player. You even got black people that want to play golf now. You look at Tiger Woods, you know what I'm saying? So the game changed. So when you got somebody that crosses over, that's a star, or that got people that's following them and want to be a boxer or do some boxing, man, you got to take your head off to that, because we need all the support we can. Yeah. And boxing is one sport you ain't got to have an education. So people that didn't graduate and then they should take their head off to, something like this. Or especially people that's from the hood. Yeah. People from the hood should be watching boxing, supporting boxing all the time, because one thing a lot of people from the hood with no education or ain't got a daddy can do is fight.
Yeah.
And that's one way you can make you some money. So business-wise, they should be happy for something like that, but they don't know no better.
Yeah.
Shorty don't know no better. For real.
And then tell me about, I know you have your YouTube channel and you have a podcast too, so tell me about that.
Oh, yeah, well, my podcast, for all the fans that's listening in, I support PG Sports, but my podcast is K9 Boxing on YouTube, man. It's doing real good, man. I've been putting videos out here left and right. Yeah, it's been banging. I did a video with the welterweights, and it's like it got 162,000 views, so that's trending pretty good. So, yeah, for all the listeners and the fans of boxing, subscribe to K9 Boxing, hit a bell, leave a comment and share the video. And my podcast is, this is tonight. Tonight, you know what I'm saying? At 9 o'clock. If fans want to listen in, you need to listen in too. Remember the number is 718-506. 708 506-1506. Once again, it's 708-506-1506. And it's called the Dog Pound, of course, with K9 Boxing.
Yeah.
All my social media is K9 Boxing. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and I'm always interact with my peoples, man. I keep it real, because real is me.
Yeah, for sure. Do you ever want to do like commentary?
Yes. I have did commentary before. I did commentary on Fox once before. A guy named Carlos Salinas, he hired me to come do some, because he threw a boxing show, and he had TV involved, so he wanted me to come and do some commentating. So I commentated.
I think they got to get you back on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not stepping on nobody's feet or none of that, on their toes, none of that, man. But I light these guys up when they come to commentate, because I'm just different. I'm going to bring something that, that's going to be genuine. It's going to be unique. It's going to be special. It's going to be sweet. It's going to have a little flavor to it, a little hood to it. It's going to be some everything, a little joke here and there. But it's going to be all real.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't. Man, trust me, man. I actually, a young man had saw one of my videos, and he actually said he wanted me to come and commentate one of his shows. His show was supposed to be in February, and then somebody saw my video. They want to make some YouTube videos for them. So I've been getting people been reaching out to me when it comes to that. But yeah, a lot of times it's who you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Excuse me. Like if I was still signed with if I was signed with PBC, I would definitely be doing commentating. But I think. The people at the top, man, they could be mad, man, at you, when you turn down fights, you know what I'm saying? And you don't do what people want you to do, man. I don't be doing what people want me to do, So I would still be at the top and still be doing good, man. But I did things my way, and that's the way to do it. The only person gonna treat you good is you. But yeah, if you can make something happen, keep me in mind, because I know you got them, all kind of connections. You know what I'm saying? I'll come and break something down real quick.
Yeah, for sure. And one last question, and then I got some fun questions. So, what advice would you give? What advice would you give to an up and coming boxer?
One advice I would give to an up and coming boxer is, keep learning. Keep learning. A loss isn't a loss; it's a lesson if you learn from it. Learn from everything. Learn from everything. From when you jab, you get hit when you jab. So when you hit the bag, you know what I'm saying? The bag, if you're not hitting the bag right, listen and learn. Try to soak up as much knowledge as you can, but keep learning. And I'm like I say, learn no matter what. If you lose, if you lost, a loss is not a loss. It's a lesson if you learn from it. Keep learning. If you stop learning, and you don't want to learn, then you shouldn't be boxing. If you want to learn, keep learning. Take all your videos, have somebody record when you spar, try to record when you set up boxing, and don't just let your trainer do all the work. You learn from yourself. Be your own coach too. Don't allow just your coach to be the only coach. You got to coach yourself, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be the one that's in there. And don't stop, man. Don't stop. Take as less punishment as you can. Keep grinding, and when you reach the top, or the ceiling, open up the ceiling and go further. Just keep going forward, further.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I think even today people have advantage over like when you started just with all the new technology, like you said, like recording on your phone and stuff like that?
Absolutely, man. Listen, I'm telling you, I record my stuff, man. I wish, boy, if I had the opportunity right now, or if they say, okay, because I'm 46, so they probably like, oh, he's too old right now. So you just take about 8 years off my age, and you give me the opportunity with the technology and everything we got now. Oh my goodness, I really would have spanked cats. One reason I really didn't spank cats is even more is because I was only fighting once a year. So if I had a chance to change something in my career, I would fight more.
Yeah,
because when I fought a lot on the Contender, man, I got sharper and sharper. And if you go look and see what I did at Bravo on my YouTube channel at K9 Boxing, oh my goodness, I was so sharp because I was fighting back to back to back to back. And I didn't give myself a chance to win certain fights, especially like when I fought Charlo, because I wasn't fighting. I fought once a year. Yeah. And as you get older, you don't give yourself a good chance to win.
Yeah, definitely. All right, you ready for some fun questions? We're going to go from average to savage.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, what's your favorite song right now?
My favorite song right now? Run Till I Finish.
Who's that by?
It's a gospel song. It's a gospel song. I can't really remember who it's by, but that mug is cold, boy.
What's your favorite meal after a fight?
Oh, my favorite meal after a fight actually is cheesecake.
All right.
Yeah, cheesecake.
With some strawberries on it?
Not really. Not really. Just cheesecake. It depends, though. But I like it without the strawberry. I like it, especially if it's a good one.
What do you like to do in your free time?
My free time, man, I really just like to spend time with the family. Go to the family. Really go to the family. Yeah, spend time with the family. Like go to the movies, play basketball. Shoot, man. Just really relax. I like to on my off time. I like to just relax, really relax, spend time with the family.
Yeah, gotcha. And last one, if you weren't a boxer, what do you think you would have done?
Man, I would say rapper because I used to rap. I used to be cold in rapping, but but how rap just went a whole different way with that Illuminati type stuff, man. If I had some height, I would have been a basketball player because boy, I can play some ball, man. I really wanted to be a basketball player, but I would say, let me see, maybe I don't know. That's a good one because I like being. As a police officer, I kind of respect the police officers, but they get a bad name because of the ones that do it bad. So that's a good one, man. That's a good one. That's a good one. Probably a teacher or something.
All right, I can see it.
Yeah, probably a teacher because I'm already teaching people how to box and stuff like that. So when I say teacher, man, just teaching, just period, man. As a teacher in school, because I love the kids. One thing about me, I love kids, man, and I love to teach the kids because they don't know no better,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I try my best to help them as much as I can. Any kind of kid, especially boxing, about God. So I would just say a teacher and not just a teacher like sitting in class. Just a teacher, period.
Yeah, a teacher in life. Yeah.
But have a job at doing it though, have a job at doing it,
Yeah, definitely.
Like sitting down at the desk as a teacher, working in jail. I would love to work in the jail system too, where it's people that got a chance to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people that don't have a chance to get out, man, it's like, man, what can you really tell them? It's really like, only thing I can tell them is, man, get saved. But the people that got a chance to get out, I would love to work at a jail cell where people that got a chance to get out and kind of, break it down to them, and so when they leave up out of there, man, they can have, they won't ever come back.
Definitely. Actually, I forgot to ask you guys about that. So what's little K9 up to?
Yeah, he's doing real good. Yeah, he's doing real good. He didn't go to school today because his head was hurting last night. So, but he's been doing real good, man. He done had close to 40 amateur fights. He done had like 18 amateur fights this year alone. So he's definitely not doing what I was doing, one fight a year. He done had 18. So he's doing real good, man. He's number 9 in the country at a middleweight, but at 152. No. At 152, he's number 9 in the country, but at middleweight, he's number 3 in the country. So he's been doing real good. He's southpaw, 6'1". Oh man, 18 years old, good kid. He ain't out here in the clubs partying. Man, I'm so proud of him. He's doing real good. And shout out to my wife too, man. SB, she helps me with my videos, man. She cold, man. She actually can work. I believe she can work for CBS or Channel 2 or PG Sports because she put the videos together for real, man. She real good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was wondering who was doing them. I thought you were doing them.
Yeah. I mean, we help out. She helped me out. You know what I'm saying? She helped me out. We work as a team.
Yeah. All right, well, I appreciate you coming on, and could you let the people know where they can find you at?
Oh, yeah, another thing, too, I want to say, too, though, man, you know, like, if you got any fighters, man, they looking for a good advisor, man, let me know. I'm not interested in being a manager. I manage a few fighters, man, and they're hard, man, people, man, fighters are very hard to deal with, but as far as an advisor, you know, I would love to advise. You know, I don't mind advising fighters. But you know, if anybody want to reach out to K9, they can see me on. They can reach out to me at K9 Boxing on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And please subscribe to K9 Boxing on YouTube. Like, share, and leave a comment. My dog, let's get it. Let's go, champ.
Once again, this episode was powered by CBD for Life. Check them out at cbdforlife.us and use the promo code SAVAGE20 for 20% off your entire purchase. cbdforlife.us. Check them out.